Hello and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. Today we have on Radio 3000. He's actually an international singer, rapper, and he's just going to share his journey and everything with us. But first, I want to thank everyone for joining in whenever you guys get on. Hope everybody had a great day today. Did anybody cook anything today? I didn't cook. I got my kids McDonald's. So I didn't cook today. Anybody cook today? What'd y'all cook? I guess nobody cooked today, huh? We're just going to wait for him to come on. How do y'all feel about the school situation? And can y'all hear me? Give me oh, you cook tacos, D. Okay. I had to try those tacos, the way you was bragging about them. Because I heard I can make some mean tacos too, I'm just saying. Let's see here. Radio 3000, I see you on, but it is not giving me the add button. Normally you have to leave the whole live and then come back in. So just like exit out of here totally and come back. I don't know why it does that. So I see he was getting ready to join, but you know how this technology works. He'll have to leave and come back in. What do you mean, yes, you do? Meaning I make a mean taco? Is that what you're saying? I know I do. Anybody else cook today? No one else cooked? I'm just waiting for him to go back, go out, and then come back in. So just be a few moments. Anybody sipping on any non-alcoholic beverages? Oh, you saying you do. Or anybody sipping on wine or anything today on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema? Hope everyone's having an awesome day. Jessica, hi. Haven't seen or heard from you in forever. How are you doing? Hope all is well with everyone. And we're just patiently waiting and waiting. Hopefully it'll let him come. That's good, Jessica. That's great. That's great. All right, so he came back on. Let's see. It's still not giving me the add option. Why? I'm about to request you and see. So I sent you an invite. I sent you an invite just now. Oh, and you sent me one too. Let's approve it. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, I'm glad we got you. I was a little nervous there.
Yeah, it was having a little technical difficulties, but we here now.
Okay. Now, let me just ask the viewers, can y'all hear me or am I echoing? Because I sound like I'm echoing. Somebody let me know if y'all can hear me before we begin. I'll take one out. Can you still hear me on radio?
Yeah, you clear.
Okay, maybe. Oh, somebody says echo. You don't have on earphones, do you?
Nah.
So let me take mine out.
All right.
Can you hear me now? Still echoing. So I'm thinking, I don't know what to do in this situation. I thought everything was moving. Do you happen to have headphones by chance with you?
I don't. Not anywhere near. I mean, I have my computer on me in front of me right now. Maybe I should try to connect on my computer and not my phone. You think that might make a difference? I don't know.
You're on the computer or the phone?
I'm on the phone right now. But the computer's right in front of me. If we want to switch, hang up, switch. I don't know.
I don't know, because normally they say it's the headphone situation. Do you want to try? Am I going to be able to bring you on through the laptop?
I think
I don't
so.
know.
I think
So what it is, they can hear you well. It's just me. So maybe if you just start, your journey. I hate this is happening.
okay.
Unless you want to try what you said first. What you think?
Yeah, let's want to give it a try real fast.
Yeah, let's give it a try real fast.
All right.
Okay. How do I sound now? We sound regular, but I don't know. I'm talking about we. I sound regular, but sometimes after a live, it still echoes. How do I sound now, y'all? I'm so country. So y'all can hear me regular now. So it's just when I add. Oh, this sucks. I'm low. You know why I'm low? Because I left my tripod at home. Can y'all hear me better? So we're going to try. He's going to try to go on his laptop and come back in and see if that's what it was. So we'll see. I really appreciate you guys, staying with me and supporting me. It means a lot. Every little thing counts. Just giving me feedback saying, you're good. We can hear you. That means a lot. Okay, let me see if I can send an invite again. Did you go out and go back in? No, Stacy, I don't think it was my earphones. Because remember, I used these before and they were good. I just left them that last time. Let me see if it'll let me invite you again. It might say I already did. It's saying I already invited you. Did you leave the whole live and come back in? Like X out completely, and then start over again? I hate this, y'all. Soon and very soon I'll be flying out. Well, no, not with Corona. Dang. And it won't let you send another request either, huh? So y'all, I'm on my phone like normal, and he was on his phone. And I thought with the headphones it would work better, but it wasn't. So, I don't know. And it's not letting me invite you again because I already invited you, which is weird. Stacy, are you able to let me add you to see? Like if it's my situation, it won't let me add him. And he can't request for some reason. Who's willing to let me add them right quick? Let me see. I see him back again. All right, we're going to try this again, people. And my headphones.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You starting to echo now? Damn.
I don't know why though. But so we'll just. Is it real bad for the viewers? No, this is terrible. Okay, so I'll try to talk fast and as minimal as possible. Oh, he said yes, I am echoing. This is not good. I don't know what to do. Because I know it sounds horrible to them because I've been through this already. So I don't know what else. I don't know the situation. Any suggestions from the viewers?
On the computer, but for some reason I can't get a join in option.
Okay, so what they suggested is I'll go ahead and ask a question. Alan's saying start another live. I don't know if that's the situation. What I'll do is go ahead and, talk to you. They probably can't hear me, but they can hear you very well. So just talk as much as you like. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start. I do apologize about that to you guys. But how did you start, being a rapper, a singer? Like, how did you start your journey?
I started making music when I was a child, a kid. My parents always surrounded me with instruments. We played music around the house, of course. So I kind of just picked it up at a young age from just listening and observing the things around me. Writer, so that's since a kid I've always been good like poetry and different stuff like that. So I would write a lot of poetry. I like rhymes and writing stories and different stuff like that. And eventually that turned into me actually putting songs together and formulating music and records and stuff like that. I would say high school is when I really started taking music serious. Me and my friends, EJ and Ken, we formulated a group in high school called The Abyss, and so we would meet up every single weekend and just write records. We would save up our lunch money, to buy a little recorder or whatever, and then we would meet up every weekend and just write and record records. So that's kind of like I said, I started from observing music, having music around me all the time, parents playing music in the house, and finally getting to a point where I was doing it on my own. Yep.
Okay. So the music you do now, you write everything?
Yeah, for sure. I produce, write, yeah, pretty much everything. Yep.
So where are you located, Radio 3000?
Currently I'm in Thailand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, how the same music we would listen to here in the States?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially me being from the States, I gotta stay current. You know what I mean? Like, but you'll be surprised on the especially with the internet. You know what I mean? Like when if a record came out in America, it's coming out here at on the same day. So everybody is. It's not like back in the day when this side of town was doing something, the other side didn't know what was going on. Like now, everybody gets it at the same time. And hip hop has spread around the world crazy more than a lot of people in the States even realize. So like everything, they're on it extra. It's music that these kids out here be playing. I be like, they be putting me up on game sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, what's that? They was like, oh yeah, this is the new Pop Smoke and stuff, whatever. Whoever's popping at the time. So they're real big on being online and paying attention to what's happening, especially in our culture and hip hop culture. Yep.
So how did you end up in Thailand?
That's a long story. Long story short, just Asia. I got to Asia, I would say is it was a long time ago, like 2007. I performed on BET Spring Bling, and that was a really good look for me. Agent, well, my friends that I had met in Los Angeles from Texas, they seen me on the show, and they were called Joe and Will. They go by the name of Mona Lisa. And they see me on the show, so they contacted me through the old school MySpace portal, and they were like, "Yo, we got an opportunity in Singapore to come out and to perform 6 nights a week at this place." And I was like, "What is Singapore? I never even heard of Singapore, really." So I did my research on it, and I sent them my audition tape, and I got the gig, and I went overseas to Singapore for the first time leaving America in my life, and it just changed the trajectory of my future, you know what I mean, and my perspective of life outside of America. Yeah. So that was 2007. So yeah, so for just hustling in Singapore, meeting different people and networking, I eventually made my way, climb my way up the ladder as far as in the music game out there, and then people here in Thailand start recognizing me, and all of Southeast Asia start recognizing what I was doing, and I eventually got an offer to come here in Thailand and work with some of the top artists here in this area.
That's amazing. Just to get that experience. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm forever young. You know what I mean? Forever young. I just turned. I'll go ahead and say it on here. You feel me? I just turned. Man, how old am I now? 37. You know, unbelievable. Yeah.
I swear I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, well you're aging very well.
No, thank you. You know what they say, black don't crack.
Black don't crack. Oh, that's awesome though. So did you ever see yourself as a kid actually like living abroad? Just going and doing it?
It's funny. I say more like, as a little kid, I remember Sesame Street movie when I was a kid. It was called Big Bird. I think it was Big Bird Runs Away or something like that. But I remember in this I remember he went to like China, and I remember watching this movie with Big Bird going to China, and as a kid, like, man, I want to one day go overseas. Like, that looks cool. I want to go there to that place. So that's probably the earliest memory I had of like wanting to go overseas. But then later on in like my earlier 20s, I start calling myself the world famous radio before I even went overseas. So it kind of like spoke into existence, and like I said, since a kid, I think I kind of manifested that thought way back then, and ironically, I wind up in Southeast Asia.
So when you got that offer, you just kind of dropped everything and just you took it and left?
Yeah, pretty much. I was play the cards that I'm dealt. You know what I mean? Like I wanted something different. I lived in Los Angeles. I did the whole Hollywood thing. I worked with different labels and stuff like that. And I just thought that it was a great opportunity that the people around me weren't doing. It was something that would set me apart from the crowd. When you live in LA, places like that, big city markets where a lot of artists and musicians are moving to, you start seeing that it's oversaturated with talent. Everybody's great. Everybody's good. So once I seen it, I kind of got that opportunity came, and I seen a door and a path that was just like untouched. So I went. I'd say, hey, let me go see what it is, and I'm glad I did. Yep.
Right. Yep. So you wouldn't change anything, even if you could reverse it, you would still take that opportunity that was given to you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wouldn't change it for nothing. It just changed my whole path of my life. You know what I mean? Like from in so many different countries, from Singapore, Indonesia, Abu Dhabi, London. It just opened up my mind and my travels and my perspective in a way that if I would have stayed in America and never got outside of the States, I would have never even knew any of this. Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't necessarily. A lot of people always ask the question like, "Oh, you couldn't do it here in the States or whatever." It wasn't that for me. I mean, I was doing things in the States. I had artists signed, and I was writing records for people like that. I just thought that I just thought it was so dope to just go overseas and just like, and when I come back, it was like, yo, just to have a one up. But once it got deeper than just having one up, it was like, yo, like it's so much opportunity around the world, and you start looking around and realizing that you're the only one. And now it's not so oversaturated, and there's a place there's a position that I could hold. So.
Right. What gives you the drive when you're writing music? Like, do you write about life experiences, other people's experiences, or is it just something that comes as you're writing?
Yeah, something that just kind of comes as I'm writing. I could have a conversation with you, and I can just catch a vibe off of something that we talked about, and then make up a whole situation of stories. That a lot of my music is stories. So some of them are personal, some of them aren't personal. But I always try to, if I'm writing about somebody, I always try to put myself in their shoes. For instance, I have a record called Street Performer, where I was in San Francisco and I seen a guy, like an old guy on the street performing, and like nobody was paying attention, but like I can hear him, you know what I mean? I'm listening to the words that he was saying. I'm like, yo, this dude is super dope. So, you know, I put later on, I just was inspired by that guy, so I wrote a song called Street Performer, imagining it I was him, you know, being that street performer, singing these songs and having this dream, and all these people passing by me not paying attention, but I know that I'm gonna make you one day. So you know, it's just different things motivate me. Whether it's whether it's me writing about somebody, me trying to visualize things how they see it, or my own personal situations where I'm giving like my own experiences and my feelings. Yep.
Okay. So actually, I know you say you see yourself doing this as a child, but like, how many years have you been into this industry?
Ooh.
A long time.
And it was different levels of it too. So I like I said, I started taking music serious in high school. So you know, if you could say that's the beginning of me being in the business or whatever. You know, from us writing records and selling music at school, selling tapes, CDs, putting on our own concerts. Then that evolved into, you know, getting on the radio to you know, going down to LA, going to music school. So I probably, you know, we started almost 20 years ago in creating, you know, doing music professionally. And then I would say like really like striving to like get a deal or make it or whatever, how people say it. Probably like, you know, it's probably been about, probably 10, 12 years. You know.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you see yourself kind of, retiring anytime soon, or you just gonna take it as far as it goes? You gonna ride this wave all the
I mean, it's like, you know, I feel like God create people for certain reasons, and I feel like I'm radio. Like, what would I do? I don't know what else to do. You know what I mean? Like, music is me. Like, that's what drives me. That's what brings me happiness, brings me joy. So, and if I'm not the guy on stage, then I'm the guy behind the curtain. You know, but still within this world, within this industry, whether it's me, like I said, whether it's me being the artist or me help cultivate new artists and stuff like that. So I feel like I'll always play a part in the world of music.
Okay. So when it's time to perform, and I know some artists have to, I don't know, maybe take a drink or say a prayer or whatever. What do you got to do to get yourself there before it's time to go out on that stage?
Yeah, definitely. You know, before I would go out, I gotta say a prayer. Thank the man upstairs for providing the talent and drive and the energy to do what I'm doing. Yeah, that's pretty much that always happens. And then if I'm in a nightclub back before COVID, if we're in a nightclub, kind of tempted to take a drink or two. So those performances are a little bit more turned up or whatever. But like if I'm doing TV or like a festival or something where I got to be on, then I like to stay clear minded and make sure I kill the show. But a lot of club shows is just fun, drunk people in there, so I might take a drink or two just to loosen up. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot. So do you know how some people just have this huge entourage behind them? Are you one that travels and take up the whole stage, or you kind of just have like your main few people with you?
Yeah, pretty much my main guys is with me. Um, the show changes often, so sometimes I might be performing with my band. So we'll have anywhere from 6 to 7 people with us.
Okay.
And then I might be performing if I'm always with my guys in some type of way. I got a team in Malaysia, I got a team in Thailand, so it just depends on where I'm at. Will determine the size of the entourage. Here in Thailand, we pretty much be riding pretty deep. You know what I mean? Wherever we go, we have a really large crew out here. The Bangkok and then visit DJ crew, and it's crazy.
That seems like a lot of fun. Could it ever be stressful though?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's always stressful because we're so hands on with the creative process of everything. Where there's a lot of artists, they'll do tours and they'll just get booked, but like we're actually like organizing the tour first. You know what I mean? We're putting the tour together. We're putting the locations that we want to go to. We're putting the whole thing together, and then we go out to seek the people to book us and stuff like that. In many cases, so yeah, that's the part that's stressful. But I never feel the stress of like when it's showtime. Like that's when that's it's the payoff. You know what I mean? It's the ultimate. So it's all worth it. But yeah, for sure. I think the back end of the business is the most stressful part because that's when you're taken away from the natural me being an artist and having to like, okay, let's be serious now and let's work out the business stuff. So that's the most stressful part. But the creative process, that's always fun, and the entertainment side, that's always fun.
I can imagine. It does sound like fun. It sounds like stress. It just sounds like it's worth it though. It's definitely worth it.
For sure.
So do you are you considered like an independent artist? Because it sounds like you kind of handle all your business.
Yeah, I would say that I'm an independent artist. That so I still work. I work with a lot of major record labels. Like I said before. So there's been times that I've done singles under major labels, and then I've done singles just independently on my own. So it just depends. I try to, but I always keep my freedom. That's my freedom as an artist. And make sure that I'm able to I'm not locked down to something for the rest of my life. I've heard so many horror stories growing up of this artist didn't get paid for this, or he had us in a bad deal. So I always was very cautious about that and how I pursued my own deals. I always wanted to make sure that I was free and I can move around. So yeah, in the sense I'm still an independent artist, but I majorly independent. Let's say that.
Well, that's awesome. Kudos to you. And I just got one last question. I'm not going to keep you too long because I know this is echoing, and everything. But like you mentioned in high school, passing out the CDs and all this good stuff. Was there ever a time you felt like I'm done? Like I can't do it?
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting too because I think at that age when we were doing that, it was just so like we were so hungry for it. Like there was no turning back. There was never a time. Even when we felt our failures, we still was like, oh, we got to keep on going. You know what I mean? So we established that mentality early. More and more you get in the game, and it like I said, when you have to start dealing with the business stuff, that's when you start feeling tainted, or you start feeling tired, or you don't want to do. You start questioning yourself. And then you might have worked so hard a year on a project, and then you start shopping it to the label, and then nobody's showing you no love, or so you're not getting booked for gigs. There's dry time sometimes. You know what I mean? So. And then you're still trying to race and compete with the major label artists, and you still got this drive, this dream to be this big star, and that part can be frustrating. But I think over the years I just learned that like the joys in the journey and everybody's path is different. Like especially me coming overseas and doing it this type of way. I'm going left instead of going right. Like most people try it this way. Like I'm doing it something totally different. So I know it's going to be harder. So there's a lot of times stressed or worried or discouraged, but then I always go back to like the younger me selling those CDs, selling those tapes. Like this is what this is what I love, so I got to keep on pushing. And notice the more and more I keep going, the more badges I get on my my vest or whatever. Like and I like it. I think it's pretty dope from coming over here to Southeast Asia. We brought Def Jam here. I was able to be instrumental with helping to sign a lot of artists to major record labels, as well as myself put out stuff with a lot of major record labels, write for a lot of artists, getting artists signed to Chris Brown, writing for Mario. So it's just been and I did it all from being over here, right? I didn't even have to be in Hollywood, so I established my own Hollywood, and it's been a dope journey so far. Yep.
Well, that's amazing, and I can tell it's going to continue to be a dope journey for you. I know I can't talk too much again because of the echoing, but I do want to thank you so much for taking this time out just to even come on, share this information with us. Before we end it, is there anything else you want to say, share with us, anything at all?
Yeah. Um, how powerful people. I definitely want to just thank you for opening up the platform and giving me the opportunity to speak, and nice meeting you as well, for talking to you with you the first time. Um, I want to leave with just like, with the situation that's going on in the world right now with the COVID-19 and the rise of the black awareness of things that's happening in the States. Everything everything that we've been through in America as black people, and how we've been oppressed or whatever. It's interesting that our spirits and our love and our sound and our music has spread so far across the world that a lot of people outside of America don't even see the negativity when it comes to black people. They love what we do, and now they're like concerned, like, well, hold on, what's going on? You guys are still being treated like this? Like, yo, let's stand up. So here in Thailand and Southeast Asia, there's a lot of people standing up fighting for us. So I just want people within America to know, like, we not by ourselves, and this is definitely a moment for us to rise up and do things outside of the box. We just got to do it together. So whenever somebody, my boy Alan, hit me up and told me about your show, I didn't know who you was, you didn't know who I was, but we were able to come together and share a moment where we try to inspire more people out there. So I think it's a good thing we're doing. I salute you. You got my full support just on the fact that we got the same bloodline. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I'm here on. Yeah.
I really appreciate that, and I thank you so much for coming on. And like you said, we need this right now. We definitely need it. Sharing knowledge, learning from each other, all that good stuff, and giving people the motivation that they need to let them know it's other avenues out there, not just here in the States all the time. So I really appreciate you so much, so much.
Likewise. Yep.
Okay, so hopefully one day I can fly out and follow you around on Let's Sip and Talk and see what you do.
Come on down. Alan know the deal. It's good. It's good vibes. So whenever these borders open back up, you'll be good out here. We will roll out the red carpet for you. You'll see what it is.
Okay, y'all hear that now, viewers. Y'all hear that. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you get back to your Wednesday over there or Thursday?
It's Thursday morning. It's 6 a.m. out here. So yeah.
You did this for me. 6 a.m. You up?
Hey, I just want this to go down in the records that I'm about that life for real.
I appreciate that so much. I appreciate it. Well, I'll let you go ahead and get some Z's if you're about to lay down or start your day. But again, thank you so much, Radio 3000. I appreciate it. Did you want to give your social media so they can follow you or anything?
Yeah, they can follow me on at Radio3000. That's all my tags, so all the social media platforms. At Radio3000, all together, one word, and you'll see everything that's been going on.
All right, sounds good. And you guys, I thank you guys for tuning in, supporting all that good stuff. And as we always say, peace and love. All right, see y'all later.